The year 2000 marked a turning point. Tensions that had simmered for years erupted into flames. Suicide bombings struck cafes, buses, and markets. The Second Intifada wasn't just a protest, it was war brought into Israel's cities. For civilians, it was a daily test of survival, where every street corner held the threat of death. Parents clung to their children, unsure if they would return home from school. Schools conducted bomb drills as a new normal. Life became a maze of checkpoints, armed patrols, and sudden lockdowns. To outsiders, it was occupation, but for Israelis, it was the desperate attempt to live another day. The construction of the West Bank barrier became a defining image of the era. Condemned globally, it was hailed inside Israel. The bombings dropped dramatically. Critics saw separation, Israelis saw salvation. A nation drew a line not out of hatred, but out of necessity. In 2005, a wrenching decision, Israel unilaterally withdrew from Gaza. Families were pulled from their homes, synagogues were dismantled. It was a leap of faith, an olive branch extended. The hope? That leaving Gaza might open a door to peace. The cost? Division within the nation, and a wound that still bleeds. But the rockets came. From the ashes of Gaza rose Hamas. Towns like Sderot and Ashkelon became front lines. Children counted seconds from siren to shelter. The Iron Dome was born, not as a weapon, but as a guardian in the sky, a system designed to intercept death before it touched the ground. Israel's enemies evolved. Terror tunnels snaked beneath the border. Militants infiltrated kibbutzim. Cyber attacks darkened systems. The threat came by air, land, sea, and screen. Israel answered with layers of defense. Its very existence depended on adapting faster than its foes. And yet, life pulsed on. Tel Aviv's skyline rose, music played in Jerusalem, startups flourished. The world saw conflict, Israelis lived complexity. They danced, built, and hoped, even while preparing for the next siren. It was a nation determined to live, not just survive. On October 7, 2023, the horror returned. Hamas militants stormed through the border. Civilians were gunned down in their homes. Babies were taken. The deadliest attack in decades plunged Israel into mourning and fury. Grief turned into resolve. Once again, a nation united under fire. The global headlines shouted condemnation, but inside Israel the mission was clear: dismantle the terror infrastructure. In Gaza, Hamas hid among hospitals, schools, mosques. Precision became paramount. Each strike weighed against collateral. The goal? Stop the rockets, preserve life, on both sides. Each funeral tore the heart. Palestinian children buried under rubble. Israeli soldiers lowered into graves, but to Israel, surrendering to terror was not an option. Peace, they believed, could only come when rockets no longer rained, when borders no longer bled. To the world, Israel often looks strong, but inside, it is a state constantly bracing for impact. Missile defense systems, bomb shelters, alert apps, security became part of the architecture of life, not for dominance, but for defense. In Sderot, playgrounds double as bunkers. A rocket siren can sound in the middle of recess. Children have 15 seconds to run. Generations have grown up knowing no other reality. In Israel, childhood itself is shielded, not from rain, but from war. As the Second Intifada raged, Israel's streets bore the scars of repeated attacks. Jerusalem, Haifa, Netanya, all targets of suicide bombers. Cafes, buses, nightclubs, every public space became a risk. And yet, Israelis kept going out, living, loving, resisting fear. 2002 brought Operation Defensive Shield. The IDF re-entered West Bank cities to root out terror networks. In Jenin, fierce urban battles erupted. The cost was high, but Israel declared it necessary. A homeland cannot survive when its heart is under attack. That same year, the Park Hotel bombing on Passover left 30 dead. It broke the nation's heart. The message was clear. There were no pauses, no sanctuaries. In response, security tightened. From markets to weddings, every gathering was protected, surveilled, shielded. Through 2003 to 2005, the barrier wall expanded. Suicide attacks plummeted, but the world criticized the wall's path. It cut deep through lives, through farms, through history. Still, many Israelis saw it as the reason their children were still alive to argue about politics. By 2006, the northern border flared. Hezbollah kidnapped Israeli soldiers, sparking the Second Lebanon War. Rockets fell across Haifa and Galilee. Israeli jets pounded targets in Beirut. Civilians on both sides paid the price. A painful reminder, the threat came from every front. The 2006 war ended without clear victory, but Israel reinforced its northern defenses. Meanwhile, Hamas took over Gaza in 2007, and internal Palestinian war ended with a new enemy in control. From then on, every escalation had a new face and a new intensity. In 2008 saw Operation Cast Lead. In response to constant rocket attacks, Israel launched a major campaign in Gaza. Urban warfare, civilian shields, media outcry. It was as much a battle for perception as it was for ground. Israel called it defense. The world debated. By 2012, Operation Pillar of Defense responded to increased missile range. Tel Aviv came under fire. The Iron Dome proved itself, intercepting missiles mid-air. For many Israelis, it was the first time they felt the sky could protect them as much as the walls.